Hello and welcome to the stream. My name is Milo and it's hashtag Mermaid. So I'm doing a thing I've done recently a few times and I really enjoyed, which is just go to itch.io, search a tag or search a keyword and find a bunch of games that look interesting. And then of course I have to weed a lot out because they run on Windows only. Some of those I can get running through Wine, but some I just am unable to play, unfortunately. And there's also a lot of visual novels in the Mermaid category, but I'm not going to be playing any of those today. I'm focusing more on action games and the like. Hello Gibbon, how are you doing on this fine Mermaid morning? Afternoon, but whatever. It was better for the rhyme. Now let's immediately break my own rules and play a game that's not hosted on itch.io. So Team ARG are a small group of developers who create games for the Ardu Boy, which is an open source tiny little handheld game system. It's about the size of a credit card with a tiny little screen, and it looks like this. And they've created almost 20 games for the system. And this one is Mermaid themed, so I'm going to give that a try. And to do so, I'm using Project Abe, which is an online Ardu Boy emulator created by Felipe Manga and is hosted at felipemanga.github.io/Project Abe. And yeah, this is what it looks like when you emulate it. And I'm going to zoom my screen in so we can see it better, because it really is tiny, and that's the point. Whoops. Okay. Woohoo. Nice. Gibbon says, huh, neat. I now want this system. Okay. Oh, the QR code for help. Yep, there's the credits. Yes, Justin Sear. Also known for, well, what I know him for is doing graphic design on the DS and Game Boy Advance version of Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. Excellent little pixel art game. And code by Jory Gantois. Ooh, yes. Sound effects, please. Well, let's get into it. Stage 1. So this is a scrolling shoot. Is it what? 2 buttons, pause, and it was a separate field. It seems like it's playing sounds but just delayed by a few seconds. That's very strange. Tonya saying, I'm glad you like Anton. So, yeah, Anton is the name of Tonya's he's playing some to go in this character. And then fan art of them from various awesome artists. The that Tonya showed me was the character and this new character Anton together at the company in Sword and Shield. Yeah, that was art from Squirrely Jack of Cat fame. Yes. Now there should be get far enough, but I might die. A bit distracting to admit. Are they turning out by the voice? Okay, well that's definitely a problem. Let's fix that. Whoops. So I'll turn it down. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully that's a bit better. Not safe for work, so be only some the way that this project emulates boy, it's probably fine on real hardware. I would use Team ARG. They seem to have a lot of experience with the it sounds better now, sorry about that. Tanya's now loud noises. I don't think they are. It's complicated. Well, what I'm hearing from the game is beeps. Ooh, I have an awesome bubble shot now. Okay, that's definitely playing the way it's supposed to, I think. Yeah, the RG Boy is a very simple system. Think Game Boy, maybe even simpler than that. Game & Watch style. So the sound effects that it can play are very basic beeps. Very simple. Loud beep 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 beep, thumping noise. And bubble shot doesn't make any noise. Oh my gosh. Sounds like we're having actual audio errors on the stream here. That's strange. Oops. I'll try refreshing the page next time I die. But actually, we don't want to spend too long in any one game today because I have quite a few to get through. But this one is nice. If it's making sound issues though, that makes me want to move on quicker. Oh geez. And Gibbon's computer blue screened. We're having all sorts of technical issues today. Oh, here's something new. Yoink. Shot. That's nice. Seems to be powerful. I really love the main characters. Cute in the tiny little pixels that they had to and some nice little animations too. Okay, so I'm refreshing, although I don't actually want to stay on this one. Yeah. So on the Project A page, there's a bunch of other games that you can play that have been unofficially archived, or at least in this Team ARG case, it's an unofficial repository. Gibbon says, thank God that noise is coming from the stream. Yeah, it is a shame about the sound. I can't actually see the sound and the game at the same time because of the way I've got my browser set up, and then I have to zoom in. Ugh. So I'm relying on your feedback, please. But anyway, Team ARG do have one other game on the RG Boy related to mermaids, and that's Reverse Mermaid Hockey. This is not the last Reverse Mermaid game we'll be playing today, but if you are familiar with the Red Dwarf episode Better Than Life, a Reverse Mermaid is where you have the lady part on the bottom and the fish part on top. Okay, how many times do you need to win a game? So this is essentially Pong. We'll set it to 1 so we can see more of the victory screens. You win. Well, at least you're 1 again. So if you win the match, you get transformed back from the awkward reverse mermaid form into a more natural form. In this case, I became a fish. But there's other options available. Whoops. Yeah, and the pockets are the scoring locations. It's a bit like air hockey, I guess. You lose, and I've become a fish stick. Whereas air hockey has 1 pocket in the middle, this has pockets on the sides. You win. Hey, at least you look better now. So I've swapped the human and fish parts. I heard that there is also a human ending that I might be able to achieve. So we're going to keep cycling a little bit until we get to it. It appears to be random chance. There we go. Yes, you've won the game and you've got your body back. So that's just a fun little thing. Reverse Mermaid Hockey. I guess I should check out the page for that on Team ARG's website itself. Where is it? Here. Is this an actual console? Yeah, this is the RG Boy. They have created actual well, that's the idea of it. The emulator is very much a third-party secondary thing. But this was created to be, like I said, it's about the size of a credit card. It's a small handheld game system that is open source, and people just develop freeware games for it. Yeah, so this is the manual page for it. There's other links there and stuff. But so check out Team Arg if you want to know more about their projects on the Arduboy. And yeah, let's move on, shall we? So we're going to go to Itch now, actual games that are hosted on Itch. And the first one is a similar kind of physical product that in this case has been virtualized. So this is a game by Kevin McCullough, also known as XOR Gaming, for the Kano Pixel Kit, which is a physical device that looks much like this. But in this case, yeah, as he says, you can't flash your programs onto it, but it uses JavaScript. So he adapted this program that he made for his daughters to be playable on the web on his itch.io page. And if you look at his other catalog, a lot of his games are made either for his daughters or in collaboration with them. It's very cute. But let's try this one out. What are the keys again? I think... Oh, wait, I can expand this too. I'll get rid of the text on the side. Oh, that looks odd. Guess I'll zoom that as well. Okay, so the Kano Pixel Kit, very simplistic thing, but it's just a physical device with quite large lights on it that then show you that you can program it to move. There we go. Okay, so it's right shift, I think. Yeah, did read that somewhere. So yeah, this is how it works. And if you can imagine this running on a real device that's just a series of lights. Oh, that's the post. Sorry. I've got some little yellow things to pick up here. Lovely. And yeah, you sort of ride over waves. You can jump and jump over the waves as they come along. But if you let them run into you, they will sort of carry you backwards. So it's interesting. And this is all done with very simple, simple programming, simple device system here. And yeah, we're playing as a mermaid, and it's just a fun little auto scroller for this guy's daughters to enjoy, but now we can enjoy it too. Let me see. Yeah, so there's not much to this game, but it's very cute, and I really like what he's managed to do with so few pixels on screen. It's probably the lowest res game I've ever played, to be honest. But let me see here. There were two options. If I refresh the page, yeah, this is basically a character select, I think. Yeah, okay. How do you, okay. Yeah, all right, now that it's working properly, okay. So yeah, there's two different characters to choose from. They just have different colorations. Oh no, Gibbon's computer restarted because of a Windows update. It's that old story. Oh yeah, if you missed the start of the stream, Tonya, it is #Mermaid, and I found a bunch of games on itch.io under the Mermaid tag, or at least in a Mermaid theme. So yeah, Mermaid games all day long. Okay, but so yeah, there's not much to that one, but that's it. Very cute, very nice little thing. Mermaid Jump, it's called. So let's move on. But first, Tonya's talking about, since I played the Mystery Dungeon WiiWare games last week, Tonya is now playing the Mystery Dungeon remake, and she agrees with what I said about the human-based storyline, where you're a human who went to the Pokemon world and got transformed. Tonya also thinks that is kind of dumb. Spoiler, of course. There's a scene where you famously are run out of town for being accused of being the cursed human or whatever nonsense. Alright. So speaking of low-res games, I'm playing another Bitsy game now. I've played a couple of these on streams before, and I guess I'll talk about this right now because here's one I played earlier, A Day in the Life of a Sea Witch, on my itch.io Animal Games stream. So I'm not going to play it again today, but this is a very cute one about a Celia, I think it's called. A Cecilia. which is a kind of a mermaid that has an octopus on the bottom instead of a fish. But I already played that, so yeah, that was a Bitsy game, just as an example. But this is another one by Sam I Am. Excuse me. If you are a human, put your hand on the arrow keys and press arrow keys. If you are a merfolk, follow the same instructions as human. You're not that special. If you're a fish, sorry, I have no control tips for you other than just flop and hope. So, yeah, certain of the games I'm playing today were created for Mermaid, which is not like a centralized thing, but it's just something that people do in May. They create mermaid-related media, art, or games. Excuse me. But yeah, let's get on with this one, shall we? So Bitsy is this engine that quite a few games on itch use. Very small scale things pixelated in this way. And yeah, you basically just move around. It's kind of adventure game format for most of them. You found a shell, might be worth keeping. Yeah, let's grab a few. So I think the tagline for this game was that even mermaids have wardrobe malfunctions. I'm not really sure what that meant, but I think there's an allusion later. You can't really tell in the sprite, but I think part of the point of the game is to become more clothed. That eel you can never remember the name of. Briny, I wasn't expecting to see you here looking like that. So I'm Briny. Okay. Ooh, a nice cave. Good, good. Tonya says, it's all a bit convoluted, the plot in Mystery Dungeon Pokemon. And people say these games have better writing than actual Pokemon games, but well, I don't have enough wide experience to comment on that, but yeah. So here's Pulpo. Lady Bridie, what brings you through my cave at this hour? Oh, I see. Well, you'd better get to the seamstress quick. Here, take this. I got to ribbon. So we're through the cave, and there is Atlantica. I mean, whatever it's called here. Carefully pull off the starfish. Yeah, a lot of games involving mermaids are heavily influenced by Disney's Little Mermaid. I've been watching the animated series actually recently, and then I'm going to watch the sequels later. Sequel and prequel, I should say. My Bridie. My Bridie, what happened to your bra? Not to worry, we can make you a new one. I hope you brought the right materials. Oops. Oh, okay, I skipped some dialogue there, but I think maybe collecting those materials let me choose. Yeah, let me create the new clothes for myself. So what do we want? Coconut, starfish, or shell? What would be the most comfortable? I feel like starfish, because the other ones are quite hard and might have sharp edges. They do wear shells in the Disney version, but yeah, I don't know about that. Let's go with starfish. When they're dead, they do dry out, but that's of course when they're on land. Mom Bijou. I see. Those starfish will give you the lift you need. Ah, oh, adorable. Finally, I'm decent. And okay, so that's a very short and sweet game. And that's Merworld Problems by Sam I Am. Good stuff. I haven't been doing years. Siren was 2016. Mermaid Jump was 2019. This was 2018. Sam I Am has several Bitsy games published on their profile, but they also link to their official website where they have a resume, and they do a lot of 3D modeling for train simulators apparently. So that's cool. And then in their free time they do this stuff. All right, what's next? Gibbon is still in the chat, but his computer's still booting up. Oh my gosh. All right, so this is the next one, Serenade of the Sirens. Just to cover what Tanya's saying in chat first, because it's very on topic. She likes the Little Mermaid section in Kingdom Hearts. In the first game, I actually did play that on a dolphin stream at some point. think it was the first dolphin stream, actually. No, it wasn't. It was the riding the dolphins stream later on. In the first game, there appears to be a bit of a lost plot point that never got brought up again, that King Triton is aware of the Keyblade Warrior and Legends, so it feels like there was going to be more characters who are aware of the larger scale crisis going on. Well, I don't know what you're talking about, because I know nothing about Kingdom Hearts by choice. Anyway, here's Serenade of the Sirens. It's a paid game. You can get it for $4.99 on Steam or itch.io, and they're actually in different currencies for some reason. That's odd. So it's cheaper on Steam, I guess. Anyway, but there's a demo of it, which they host. Chukobyte is hosting on their itch.io page, and if you scroll down there, it's down here. And that does get updates as well. It's in active development. If you go to the Steam page, it labels it as an early access game. So you can buy it, but it's not finished yet. It's still actively being developed. So let's give it a go, shall we? There is a Mac port, so that's what I'm playing now. Open. Cool. Let me see. Yep, I can expand that, but I'll check the audio levels first since I'm able to do that. That looks fine to me. Yeah, it should be quiet, shouldn't it? Another game I tested the volume on. I guess I should have tested more of them, but it seemed like it was quieter already. But anyway, let's play Serenade of the Sirens. Gibbon has video back. Good timing. Okay, press enter to skip. I won't. I'll watch this little intro scene. Because this is... Oh, I forget what her name is. I've actually drawn her before. What I will do... Let's real quick just check. Seika is a mermaid who has been imprisoned by evil sirens who are creating dissonance in the underwater world. So that's no good. Let's deal with that, shall we? So, oh yeah, okay. So arrow keys is like firing my bubbly song in different directions, the magical song, much like Ariel in the Sega Little Mermaid games that I played on stream a long time ago. So yeah, you move with WASD and you attack with arrow keys, and there's other function keys for other different things you're doing. But this is a roguelite or roguelike, I don't remember which. There's sort of randomly generated dungeon layouts that we're going to be traversing here to find the exit to the next stage. Oop. Oh, they're chasing me. Oh, that's not good. Oh, there's so many. Let's get it backed up and... Whoa! So since this is a commercial product, it might have among the higher production values of anything I'm going to be playing today. But it is still deliberately going for this lo-fi pixel kind of style. Not everything is on the pixel. There's some sort of dithering or... it almost looks like scan lines that they put on like retro emulator stuff, but... Oops. Surprise urchin. But it's not quite scan lines because it's running vertically. It's more used to add shading to different sprites, it looks like. Oh, there are so many of these in my way. Oh, but I can move and shoot at the same time. That's good. So, okay, there's like coins. There's going to be some kind of shop system to this game. Ooh. Locked clams. Oh, I should have known. There's a hole in the floor. Ah, again. So that's my run over, I guess. But with my coins, I can buy something for the next round. Increase selling coins, selling HP or MP. Let's do HP for more survivability, shall we? How do I select that exactly? Oops, not like that. Okay. The Genesis Caves. Did I? Oh, maybe I didn't have enough coins. Ah, whatever. Okay. Let's see. So Tonya is summing up the situation in Kingdom Hearts. Whoa! Ugh. Couldn't avoid that one. To sum it up, the characters in the Disney worlds and their stories 99% of the time have nothing to do with the main story involving the anime Square Enix nonsense. Yeah, I think that right there is probably my main problem with the Kingdom Hearts games, to be honest. Some people are into the story. I think they'd be better off focusing on the crossover aspect. All these locked clams, jeez. But for some reason, says Tonya, they made Triton the only Disney character outside of the Mickey cast who appeared to know about worlds being eaten by darkness crisis. Okay, cool. That is strange, isn't it? Okay. They got a bit stuck down there. Oh well. And yes, much like Mystery Dungeon, these are both roguelikes. Indeed, indeed. This one seems a bit more of a traditional roguelike. Mystery Dungeon has a bit more progression between dungeons, sort of thing. I really like the tunes in this. They're very nice. You can actually buy the soundtrack separately as well. I'm right on the itch page. But yeah, very cute game, this one. It controls well, except that my wrist is already screaming at me. This happens whenever I play computer games for an extended period of time. On the keyboard, maybe I just need to adjust my position. Hold on. Oh. During the social distancing phase of things, my brother and I were playing multiplayer online games together at various times, and one of the things we played was Factorio, which is a game where you set up a bunch of automation and factory stuff, but it's very involved and very complex, and yet it also requires a hand on the keyboard at all times, which wasn't good for me in the long term. We played for about 2 hours one night and I was devastated at the end of it. My weak body. Okay. So there's got to be another button I can use because I have a little note symbol. Oops. Well, I can't figure it out. But I do have this. A cheat sheet. Oh, dodge. I should have been doing that. Cycle abilities, activate ability. Great. Alright, I'll try those out. Okay. Oh, they're everywhere. Cycle abilities. I don't have any abilities. There's sort of a little music note symbol underneath my heart, my first heart over there. I was wondering if that was a special ability, but... Okay. Oh, wow. That's got quite a range on it, doesn't it? Whoa, nice. So if I get in trouble, I should try and have the wherewithal to use that. Whee! It's fun, but it kind of is a bit helter-skelter. It leaves me feeling a little bit out of control, you know? Alright, let's make progress our goal. I don't know if we're going to be able to pick up health refills on the fly in this game. Oh, hello. New character. And we can buy things. A comb, a bracelet, or something. Oh, I can't afford any of them. Oh, okay, it tells you. Gain more MP per zone. HP up. Increase dash length. I don't think it needs to be any longer than it is, to be honest. Sirens Ava and Ella. So a boss fight, is it? Seika, you won't ever be able to make it past us. Naughty sirens. So I guess I should mention at this point, that reminds me, along with visual novels being a big component of games on itch.io, especially in the Mermaid category, there's also a fair contingent of games that sort of flip the script in the same manner of some Medusa games that I played on the Monsters stream, which I think was last Halloween, maybe the one before that. Yeah, I died. That sucks. That was the boss. I can't. How come I have 0 things now? Maybe that's not coins. Okay, coins must be for in the run, and I have 0 music notes, which is a more permanent currency, I guess. Yeah. These kind of things often have 2 different currencies. But yeah, Siren games, there's a lot of games on itch.io where you play as like a violent, aggressive kind of mermaid or siren who is fighting back against sailors and attacking humans and such. I wanted to try some of those, but none of them worked too well on my computer, so that's just the selection. But those were some little runs of Serenade of the Sirens. That was pretty fun. Nice little game. And I'll be watching that development as it progresses. So, moving on. Let me see. So that was 2018. Well, we're going all over the place in terms of chronology. It's kind of semi-random, but it's probably worth mentioning what year they were developed in anyway. So, Mermaid Manor. This is from 2015 by Pizza Pranks. It was created for A Game by Its Cover Jam 2015, which is where you take, often it's Famicase exhibitions, which is made up games that never existed. In this case, it's inspired by Zach Gorman's Mermaid Manor, which Zach Gorman, also known by the blog Magical Game Time, mocked up this arcade cabinet of a potential game, which is a very cute design there for the outside. Very nice. It even has an integrated bubble maker in it, which I don't know how feasible that would be, but yeah, so taking that as inspiration, Pizza Pranks created this little 2-player competitive game, and I don't need terminal open anymore, do I? I guess that launched it with that. Alright. Mermaid Manor, and this is running through Wine. It's a PC only game. Oh, what's this? I didn't... What? This is an installer. Can I put that somewhere else? Oh, golly. Hold on. While I install this, let me just figure this out. Where's that going? Oh, in the wine files thing. Alright, put it in there, install. I didn't realize this was an installer. Oh, it failed. Okay, we're not playing Mermaid Manor today, unfortunately. Oh, maybe we are. Oh, we are. Great. Let's get into it. Okay. Playbot. Based on by Zach Gorman. Created by Andrew Bailey, aka Pizza Pranks. So, as they describe on the itch.io page for this game, it's a sort of combination of Dust Force and Bubble Bobble. Bubble Bobble in that it's sort of a single screen platformer thing, and Dust Force in that we're cleaning different surfaces around. So let me get my controls. Player 1. What are my controls? I swear I've tried this before. I should have tried it more recently, I guess. This is the one game that was sort of just on my hard drive already. I'm like, okay, skip that one. Okay. WASD and F, arrow keys and L. I wasn't going to play this for long anyway. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright, I've picked 1-player mode. There is a 2-player mode, and I guess it's semi-competitive. Anyway, yeah, so we're maids, and we're cleaning these surfaces, and we can also hit enemies with our soap bubbles, and that gets rid of them. But yeah, there's going to be different arrangements of platforms in these levels, and if we soap up a surface, it looks like we can move faster along it as well as using it to hit the enemies, because you don't need to soap a surface to clean it. You can just walk past it like this or swim past it. Oops, I've been anemoned. Cool. I'm glad this isn't a 2-player game. There are some other games that I looked at in the Mermaid's tag, or the Mermaid tag I should say, that are strictly 2-player that I won't be able to really cover today, unfortunately. Including one really interesting looking one, but I'll talk about it in a minute. I've got its itch.io site up. Ah, the whole bottom surface. Ooh, nasty shark. But yeah, the whole bottom surface down there is covered that I have to clean as well. Can I hit this shark? Maybe it just has more health. Alright, that's okay. It just goes horizontally so we can avoid it. Ah, and now the outside surfaces are covered. See, they're doing interesting things with the playfield here. That's cool. Oops. That's the bubble element of it, encasing the foes in bubbles and then hitting them and defeats them. Yeah, not just the fact that it's a single screen platformer, of course. Yeah, this is a really cute little thing, isn't it? Like most Game Jam games, it's kind of small in scope and in the resources used, but yeah, a nice idea, if nothing else, but also I think it's pretty fun to play too. Yeah, very interesting stuff going on here. Gibbon says it's neat. Yeah. And as you can see, just by varying the level design of how platforms and enemies are arranged, you can have very different kinds of challenges going on from level to level. Oops. But yeah, we have a mop. It's very cute. Ah! I'm gonna have to decide how many of the characters from today's games I'm gonna eventually draw in a year-end heroines summary pixel art, as I often do. Always do now. It's my thing. I'm gonna do it. Gonna keep doing it. Is there a bug, or do I just keep getting more lives? I have been getting more lives. I'm not stuck on... Whoops! Oh, those sharks are very difficult to deal with. Alright, so that was cool. I guess... Alright, so here's a 2-player mode where you can both play at once. I'm not going to be able to coordinate very well, but there you go. That's an option, but it is just an option. You can play solo as well, which is gratifying. Oh, I'm really impressed with this one, actually. Tonya says that she died in a dungeon for rather unfair RNG reasons, moves failing, status effects randomly. Ended up using the cheater's automatically generated rescue code to get out of that nonsense. That's a gimmick for these games. If you fail in a dungeon, you can be rescued by another player. Yeah, I didn't know that was an option even in the original game, or at least in the remake, I suppose. They might have added it in the remake. Alright, so that's Mermaid Manor. Very nice. Very nice. I'm very happy with that one. What's the time? Oh, we haven't been going long. Maybe I will have some extra time for the bonus game at the end. But we'll see. We'll get to it. Next is this one. I guess we'll just go in whatever order. It's fine. Doesn't matter. So this is Seafoam Depths by Kobold's Keep. Published in 2018. There's a downloadable PC version, but also playable in browser as well. Now this is really interesting to me. This is another Mermaid hashtag game. But as they say, Legends of Zelda Oracle of Ages on the Game Boy Color had the Mermaid suit, or Mermaid tail, which was an add-on that stacks on top of your Zora flippers to let you swim. And it upgraded your swimming and let you go underwater into different sections, but also the control mechanic was interesting. You tap the key to rapidly move in a certain direction instead of just holding it and pressing A. It was a lot more involved and interesting than the usual swimming mechanic in top-down Zelda games, so I really enjoyed that. Oracle of Ages is one of my favorites, but yeah, so they've sort of replicated that control scheme for this one. Oh, the whole rescue code thing has been in every game. And yes, I can confirm it was in the Wii U Air game. I noticed that in the menus. So yeah, we're moving around with the arrow keys, but there's also, if you push in the opposite direction to the one you're moving, you spit out a bubble or shoot a bubble in that direction as a projectile attack, and you can also pick up a shell and shoot that instead. So that's the mechanics of this game. Seafoam depths. So we've picked that up and there's a key underneath. You just have to be careful when you're moving around not to accidentally throw the thing that you are holding, but then you can always catch it on the rebound. So yeah, interesting mechanics to this, and they've sort of explored how to expand on them in these ways. It's cool. Oh yeah, here's a little Zelda reference for you, these kind of statues. But yeah, supposedly there's a fair amount to this game world so far, even though it's, you know, they didn't get super far in the development. It's not a full game, I believe, but there's some different areas. And it looks like, I thought these were enemies that would hurt me, but apparently I can just pick them up wherever. Don't know if there is a damage mechanic in this game, to be honest, but yeah, we're just going to explore. Oh, and how's the audio, by the way? Do let me know, please, if it sounds okay. But yeah, I don't know really where... Okay, cool. There's a key. So we'll backtrack to find a lock. Aha! Key leads to another key. For some reason, this is reminding me of... what's it called? The Guardian Legend? Gardic Gaidan? Oh, it's tough. It's tough not accidentally throwing your key away. Now, is it just me or do I have a prawn tail? I mentioned Cecilia's before being an octopus human hybrid, but you know, different from the usual mermaid paradigm of fishtail. But it's a lot more unusual than that even to see other kinds of fish creatures mashed up with humans. Do you think this lady is a prawn lady? That might be fun. Crustaceans. Just from the way it's shaded in the color, it could just be an attempt at a fishtail. But I'd like to think that she's a prawn. And not in the District 9 sense, thank you very much. Oh boy, those go really far, don't they? I guess they just keep going until they rebound off something. I didn't realize that. I thought they had a bit of momentum. Okay, now I have left a key back there. Oh, what? There's nothing in here. Ooh, what's this? Huh. How do I get into that room? Let's just hang for a bit. I do like this wavy effect on the screen. Keeps it from being too static and staid. Okay, Gibbon confirming that the audio is okay, thanks for that. And agreeing that it kind of does look like a prawn tail. Oh, she's got antenna on her head. She's definitely a prawn. Look at this, so cute. Okay, so what's the dealio here? Maybe I have to throw a shell at the wall? Might that be part of it? It's a little bit hard to get things going the direction you want them to. I wonder... That's clearly important. Maybe I have to go in from a different direction. But it's just brick wall on that side. Well, let's see what's on the other side. That's the brick wall. But maybe if I approach it from behind... Okay, there's a lock there, great. Let's go back to that key I found before. It is refreshing, actually, to have a non-fish mermaid. I can't think of too many others, to be honest. Huh. It's just, is this just another way of seeing this screen? Maybe if I throw something at it. Throw this. What is this anyway? Okay, so I've done that. Well, that's not the answer. I could throw a shell, but I don't know. It feels like... Well, there's another lock. I guess I'll open that one up. Maybe I'll find something that will let me get through that wall somehow. Key, please. Does this tile pattern suggest that there's something beyond this wall? The game hasn't really done anything like that since. So far it's mostly just been exploration. Guess I already got that key. Aha. Okay, that's new. Ah, that looks like an orb-shaped hole, doesn't it? Oh no, I'm getting chain reactions. That's cool. That's really fun. Okay, so bottom corner on the left. Should be the last key in the last lock. Huh? Oh. No? Over here? Yeah, it was over here. And down. Aha! A different orb. Gotta approach from behind so he can then carry it out. That's the ticket. And yes, this does feel like the Mermaid tale in Oracle of Ages. Maybe a little faster. That one you really had to tap quite quickly to get it to start. There we go. Ah, so I seem to have entered a dungeon if my Zelda instincts are correct. This looks very much like the dungeon layouts in the first game, in fact. And we have some nasty creatures who will destroy me and send me back to the start. That's interesting. Oop. Okay, but we can deal with them. Oops. That's okay. Judicious use of bubbles is needed. This is a cool game. I'm enjoying this. Yes, take that. Just in time. Oops. Okay. Oh, it's so awkward. Okay, cool. Now let's explore the other branch first. Oh. Much sooner to get a key. And I'll most likely need it. Yeah, the other thing you can do is go in a circle to carry something through. Cool beans. Cool beans. Oh. There's an exterior section to this dungeon. Bumper cars. Oh, okay. Aha, I see you, orb. You magical orb. You'll be mine. This is almost like a Zelda fan game, essentially. Oops! Where do I have to take this key, by the way? Let's explore a bit more first. Oh! Too hasty. Yeah, it's especially impressive considering this was only created in 4 weeks during the month of May in 2018. Nuts. I wonder. I wonder if bubbleization stays between lives. No. Yes! Because I bubbleized this one earlier. So that's in my best interest for sure. What's this? suppose the shells can also be used as a weapon. Alright, so that key I found earlier, I'll bring it over here, and then I can go out there, and then it'll lead me to the orb. Let's do it. Ah. Nice. So if you bash an enemy with a shell, or even a key, they will be bubbled and float away. Never to be seen again. Oh no! Oops. Sorry, my commentary is lapsed. I'm just focusing on this game. It's really cool. Let me see. Do we know the protagonist's name here? Did we get a name on the itch.io page? I have my links all here in front of me, so I can look that up. Reversing direction throws objects. There is an alternate movement control scheme if you don't like tapping. Well, as it happens, I do like tapping, so it's fine with me. But it's good that they have an option. Yeah, it does bring back those Oracle Ages memories. That's definitely my preferred of the two. At the time, and even now, I guess at the time I liked Seasons a lot because of the Rock's Cape, which is not in Ages, that only has the Rock's Feather. But definitely these days I prefer it for its stronger plot focus. Seasons is sort of left over from when the project was supposed to be a remake of the original game. You can see a lot of reused bosses from Zelda 1 in Seasons. And like, sure, they're kind of refreshed and there's sort of new takes on them a bit. But Ages is a lot more interesting, I think. It does some cool plot stuff with the time travel and such. Oh, this is going to be a headache, isn't it? Let me see. Whoa, what the heck? I look away for 1 second and a giant mouth sneaks up on me. Yeah, I was checking if the itch.io page description mentioned how long this game was, but it can't be that much longer, surely. I'm willing to try getting to the end, I think. Okay, so that's a dead end. Is there a... yeah, over here. Another branch. Oh, it's coming. You know, I assumed those sort of anemone things were dangerous, but they might just be there to help light your way. Okay. I see the orb gate. Is this... yep, dead end. Oh, maze is my favorite. Oh no! Okay, so I need a key, bring it back here, got it. Ah, the Maw returns. Stay back, beast. Oh, dead end. Literally. Is there another way to go? Aha. So the key will be in here, I'm sure. Ah. Chat, any opinions on flagships Zelda games? Minish Cap is sort of a whole different basket of fish, really. But it's very much in that it's the same developer. So it's sort of the same lineage. Where is this? Is this the gate room? No, because I came a different way, didn't I? 2 more branches off there. Oh, I can hold it. That will help. If I can manage to carry it. Oh, never mind, whatever. This small circle is all I need, I promise. Oh no. Aha! But it's yellow. There were green locks. I have a bad feeling about this. I have a feeling that I need a green key. Ah, the mall! So perhaps the yellow key will lead me to the green key, or maybe the yellow key is all I need. Okay, now I'm going to assume that the light... Yes! The light repels the more... No, not that. Okay, I'll try the yellow key and the green lock. Ah. Which means I have to remember where that is. I think it was this way. Yep. And not too far. Come on. Okay. Oh no, it was down there. Oops. Nuts. And also the manga adaptations of the Zelda games by Akira Himakawa. I also prefer the Ages installment of the manga to the Seasons installment. It also kind of wraps up the story because it comes afterwards. That's the whole thing, like, which one, like what order the Seasons and Ages happened in, because they were released simultaneously. Sneak up there. Nope, didn't make it. But yeah, according to the manga, Seasons comes first. And I think it makes sense to put the more plot heavy one second, when then you tie up the story with it. Ugh, stop it. Okay. It worked! Great! I'm so happy that there was no green key. And this provides light, thankfully. So even though the Moor is chasing me, it should repel it. Oh, thank goodness. Gibbons says, they're all pretty great. I very much like the Four Swords tetralogy. Oh, so that's the end. Oh, I'm glad I got to the end. That was a nice little game. Very cool stuff. And yeah, the development of Seasons coming first and then Ages coming afterwards makes Seasons more sense to go for first. But Gibbon also says their release IDs corroborate Seasons preceding Ages. And yeah, Ages has a more satisfying linked extra ending. It's more fleshed out than doing the link stuff in Seasons. Yeah, that's completely fair. I agree with that. All the more reason. So, if you ever find yourselves playing the Oracle games, people, do Seasons first and then Ages. That's the recommendation from us here today. So that was Seafoam Depths. Very impressive. I'm very happy with this one. I like it a lot. So cool stuff. Check that out if you're interested. All right. Next game is not actually a full-on mermaid game. It's one that involves a transformation into a mermaid. So this is... Oh, that's adorable. It's called Bista's Emprise, or Bistray's Emprise. Now, I meant to do this earlier. Oh no, I did do it earlier, in fact. But emprise is defined as a chivalrous or adventurous undertaking. It's an archaic word that's sort of related to enterprise. There we go. So it's 2016. It's playable on Windows, and it's by Ryan Silberman. It's a game that was commissioned by IT Bluebeard TI. And the main character is Bluebeard's Powerpuff Girls based OC original character, Bister, who is this character that we can see in this lovely artwork here. The in-game artwork, how long will this take? Let's go with the one that I already pre-played up to this level. So It's a fun little game. Simple enough. I don't remember the controls. Okay. No? Which? This one. Okay. So you want to get all the little goobly boblets in every level to open the door to the next level. And I'm 10 levels in at this point. Oh, so we can't bop on enemies. That's the one discovering this for the first time, apparently. But yeah, we got a wall jump, which is very cool. And this level has a unique feature that is introduced in the game as of level 10, where Bistro transforms into a mermaid. And some very Shantae-like animations, I must say, there. Very cute stuff. But yeah, hold on, maybe I can diagonally jump. I missed an orby bobbly. Those penguins look familiar to me, but it may just be the species that I'm familiar with. Yeah, very cute little game. Oops. Bistro appears to be wearing some kind of cowboy hat. Should I say Bistray? There's no accent on it. It's like luster or something else that ends in uster or ister. R-E. Anyway, yeah, she has the power to transform into a mermaid. All the Powerpuff Girls characters, the superhero type characters, have some extra special ability, like, say, for example, Bubbles can speak Spanish, and also talk to animals, I believe. I forget what the other abilities are. I just remember the joke one. Hang on a second. Those clams are from Donkey Kong Country. Maybe I do recognize those penguins from somewhere else. Yeah, it's possible that Ryan Silverman is using some pre-existing sprite work here for this game. But the main character sprite is very cute. For all I know, it's an edit of an official Powerpuff Girls game of Blossom, but who knows? No, Buttercup is the green one. Blossom is the red one. Haven't watched that show in a long time, but I did watch it at one point. I don't know, anyone got anything to say about the reboot? Very divisive, to say the least. And that's all I know about that. But yeah, this control scheme is very basic in terms of the swimming gameplay. It's just direct movement, but that's okay. Not everything has to be Echo the Dolphin. And it's definitely better than something like a Mario type swimming, which is always very frustrating. Okay, door should be open now. I don't know what proportion of this game takes place as a mermaid. Watch out for the spinning octopus, which is also a sprite rip from Donkey Kong Country, by the way. Nice music. Wonder where it's from. I've had a few music tracks over the course of the game so far. Tonya says, I think talking about the reboot, it's not that great. Oh yeah, very good point, Gibbon, very good point. Flagship, the Capcom-owned studio that created Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages, and Minish Cap, also made the Link to the Past port to the Game Boy Advance, and as Gibbon says, people often miss that this port also serves as a nice cap-off to the main Four Swords games, such that you have Four Swords Adventures ending with Ganon being sealed away in the Four Sword in the Dark Realm, and Link to the Past on Game Boy having the now corrupted Four Sword enshrined in his Dark Realm Pyramid for that extra dungeon. Oh wow, I didn't know about that actually. That has some interesting timeline implications, doesn't it? Gibbon's particular hobby horse is that the official, related to the Zelda timeline, I should say, is that the official timeline is kind of bunk and made up and doesn't make any sense. And as do many people, he has an alternate theory about how the games should fit together that probably does make more sense, if I'm honest. I've always sort of, in my own fan works on the topic, taken the official timeline but then expanded on it to humorous degree by including all the side games and stuff that people forget or ignore, including the official sources. But that's just a goof with some genuine love and interest behind it. Oh, okay. So it's those little blue dudes that have been tripping me up so far. I keep sort of missing them and then they get me. Where's the door though? Where's the door? What? I died by leaving the screen? Is that it? That's annoying. Well, I don't know. Anyway, yes, you're absolutely right. The original release of Four Swords on the Game Boy Advance... there's the door. Okay, I'll get it this time. The original release of Four Swords came along with the Link to the Past remake, and they had this interconnectivity stuff. It wasn't just a lackluster remake of Link to the Past that added out-of-place voice clips and cut down the screen size. No, it also had a new dungeon relating to the Four Sword, and you could unlock things in both Four Swords and Link to the Past, the remake, by doing certain things in each of the games. Okay. But yeah, I did the I never really looked deeply into the implications of the Four Sword dungeon in the Link to the Past remake, but I suppose that makes sense. The Four Swords there, it exists, and it's in the Dark World Pyramid, so in that sense it does follow events in the other Four Swords games, including Four Swords Adventures. But yeah, you've got, as Gibbons says, it forms a trilogy with the original Four Swords and then Four Swords Adventures, or Four Swords Plus in Japan. And then, yeah, the Link to the Past remake has this Four Sword related content in it. I did a little fan theory at one point that the multiplayer mode in Phantom Hourglass and possibly Spirit Tracks as well, I don't quite remember, uses the Four Sword. And you've also got Toon Link Wind Waker style appearing in Four Swords Plus, if not the Western localized form of Four Swords Adventures through the Tetris Trackers mode. And that's a multiplayer mode with different colored links as well. So I don't think it's ever really said how that happens, but my theory was that it's through the Four Sword. Whoops. Whoa. Cool. This is getting trickier. We've got these air currents to deal with. Yeah, it's getting a bit more interesting here. Oh, I'm sure I recognize that sprite too, but I can't think of where from. I don't like how those little blue spinny things camouflage themselves among the fish. It's very dangerous. Cool. Well, this music is very peaceful. What's the time? Might as well get to level 20, eh? If 10 is where Mermaid starts happening, then it might go until 20, so we'll see. Oops. Oh. Let me see. Gibbons says, there's interviews that back up that Four Swords Adventures was intended to be a game to take place between... Oh, golly. Between Ocarina of Time and Link to the Past to better fit the descriptions of the imprisoning war events as described in Link to the Past manual and opening. That would make sense to me. There's so much of Four Swords Adventures that's aesthetically inspired by Link to the Past, as well as the whole thing with the Seven Knights and you know, some of the lore stuff happening in it. But a lot of the graphics are really directly riffing on Link to the Past's graphics. like the houses and the trees and everything like that. I thought I could slip in there. Probably can. Yeah, so putting it near Link to the Past in the timeline makes more sense, definitely. It really is a mashup of a lot of different things, though, because it has bosses and some graphics from Wind Waker and related games, but so does Minish Cap. It's kind of a big mess, the Zelda series, really, if you think about it too deeply. That's why it's fun, though. Okay, that's level 20. Oh, still a mermaid. Okay. Given further says a lot of it is expanded story. A lot of the expanded story of Four Swords Adventures got saved for later use in Twilight Princess. Oh, that's interesting. But they didn't actually like not make a game that serves as a bridge between Ocarina of Time and Link to the Past. Yeah. That's good stuff. If I were to think about it and not just swallow the official timeline, I would most likely agree with you. Because it doesn't make too much sense to put the Four Swords games so far apart in the timeline, really. Oops. Oh, come on. That jump, it just is so uncontrollable. You just jump straight directly up out of the water and then you fall down again. There's really nothing to it. All right, so that's the Mermaid segment of Bista's Emprise. I think we'll leave it there. Thanks for that, Ryan Silberman. Pretty cool stuff. Oh, mermaids. I got to take a break, a breather. Yeah, as you say, very good point. The Mirror of Twilight and the Dark Tribe first appeared in Four Swords Adventures, and the lore behind them matches almost exactly with the Twilly stuff in Twilight Princess. Twily, whatever it is. You're dead right. You're completely right. Because the official timeline actually puts Four Swords Adventures directly after Twilight Princess, which in a way kind of makes sense because of those links that you say, but then again, they completely destroy the Mirror of Twilight in Twilight Princess. But it starts shattered. I don't remember what happens to it in Four Swords Adventures exactly. Anyway. Mermaids, that's why we're here. There are mermaids in the Zelda games. Thing. Link's Awakening has a mermaid. And then Oracle Ages has the mermaid tail. The Zora race can be considered a kind of mermaid-ish. Anyway, let's play the next one. Lady Mermalade's Flippy Fins, 2018, browser-based by Javasaurus, made for the Crass NG Jam 3, which is a jam based around this person called Crass. And the theme for it is randomly generated. Like you go to a certain page and you type in a prompt, and it seeds for you by a bot, some kind of, like, it gives you a line. In this case, the theme they were provided with was a game where you explore dungeons with queens in the deepest oceans with only one button. And so Javasaurus came up with this, Lady Mermalade's Flippy Fins. Now, it's a little off-putting at first because you might think that it's a Flappy Bird clone from the first opening seconds of gameplay. But if you hold out a little bit longer, it gets a little bit deeper and more interesting. So, as it tells us, we collect treasure along the way. And here we have the old pipe setup, of course, that we do our one-button movement to get through. Oh, and yes, you don't automatically die. Oh, there's a secret treasure down there, but I missed it. The sea is full of perils, don't you know? Yeah, and mashing does not actually make you go that fast because you end up kind of getting stuck on the ceiling. But yes, we have a shark pursuing us. So we must call upon our friends. Much like, again, in the Sega Little Mermaid game. We're going to be using our ocean buddies to help us out here. In this case, we have a marlin who is able to bash the shark and make it cry, which puts it off for a little bit, but then it comes back quickly enough. So then we have starfish buddies. That's right. So I guess that's our goal, at least in this initial stage, is to go along fast enough and then get the help of the other ocean critters. Oh, that actually cost me shells. Interesting. Maybe I didn't actually need to do it because the shark wasn't even coming up on me at that point. Ow. Well, that was really hard to avoid, I must say. Okay. I guess there's no end state. A huge, evil, nasty, and moreover hungry shark started chasing Mermaid all over the ocean floor. Yeah, we haven't got to the exploring dungeons bit, but I don't know if we really will. I'm not sure how deep this game goes, but at least it has a couple of mechanics that set it above a Flappy Bird clone, which is what I first thought it was. So I'll have one more go, see if I can get a little bit further. Didn't save my high score apparently, but there you go. What? Tonya says, again, she's playing the Mystery Dungeon DX remake that has recently been released on Switch. Remake of the very first Red and Blue Rescue Team Mystery Dungeon games. And saying the scale is off in this game. Rhydon is smaller than Pikachu. Bizarre. And yet Pokemon Sword and Shield make Wailord as tall as a human. A shame. Yeah. Ever since they moved to 3D models, there's been problems with Pokemon scale, I think. Or even before then, definitely. Hard Gold and Soul Silver let any Pokemon follow behind you and yet kept it the same size as you. But I feel like you kind of forgive that because of the proportions. Oh, we're actually seeing a different area here. So there might be some random generation happening. Oh, okay. New animal buddy. Squid. Whoa, big squid. Ah, I'd missed the shark. That's too bad. But yeah, we have nautical mines. Also, I really don't know what that turning wheel / compass thing at the top of the screen is. As far as I can tell, it's just there for aesthetics. Oh. Blasts of bubbles. And I've wasted all my shells. Yeah, maybe when Pokemon was more chibi, it was sort of more forgivable that there were these differences in scale that weren't really addressed. But now that it's skewing more realistic, these sort of strangenesses are more apparent, more noticeable. Ooh. Dangerous. Oh, I'm glad I tried in the second run because we're getting some different experiences here. But as Tonya points out, Colosseum and Battle Revolution have a proper scale. Not sure what this effect means. Some particles coming down from the top of the screen. Maybe on 3DS it was an alright excuse, she says. These look like kraken tentacles. Let's avoid those. Not having too much trouble with the shark right now. So I don't need my buddies. Our kitten Midna is very interested in apples and pears and will try to lick them as you eat them. So Kathy's back there eating a pear and trying to fend off Midna on her lap. We usually give her the apple or pear core after we're finished with it for her to lick. And she's really into it. We're like, fruit is not kitten food, but she likes it. Let's see if we get that squid to do something this time. Tony says, Waylord is just supposed to be an utterly huge Pokemon, so as the size of a human, it's not right. It's just not right. Come on, what? Squid went right past it. The shark was completely chill with it. Alright, what's the time? Let's let the shark catch us this time. Game over. So that's pretty cool. Lady Mermaid's Flippy Fins by Javasaurus. Not too bad. Let's see. Tonya played Alpha Sapphire for the first time this year and thinks that the chibi human style in the overworld just doesn't look right in 3D. Yeah, I gotta agree actually. Okay, cool. How's everyone doing? We've got a few more games to play, if you're up for it. If not, then you can leave, but I'll keep playing them. So next we have Merkin by Cybergunk. This is 2017. It's a browser-based game created for the CGA Jam, a jam where you have to mimic the old CGA computer graphic style of 4 colors, black, white, cyan, and magenta. There are also 4 different themes you could choose from to base your game around. For this one, they picked the Wild West theme, but added mermaids. Given says go for it. Thank you. Let me see. Press A to start the game. Control to talk to other Merkin and shoot Trident. It's not working. Maybe when we're in a battle mode. Alright, so we'll zoom a little bit if we can. Get a closer look at this game. So yeah, this is Merkin. Actually, I should read the description. You're a girl who gets dumped into the ocean by your criminal boyfriend. Just as you think you're about to drown, the Merkin Queen appears to save you and turn you into one of the Merkin. Your kinfolk now. And that's the story as we know it. Maybe we'll learn more by talking to these other Merkin. Hello. An old cave north of here has been overrun with some real nasty critters. Problem is, that's where I've been storing my supply of hooch. What accent is this? This is the Old West. Missed the second text box. Oh well. Probably not important. And I don't think this game has any sound. If you happen by the old Merkin Temple ruins, steer clear. That place has become infested with all manner of deep-sea devilry. Though I reckon the Merkin Queen would be quite happy with any blah blah something something. The sea is full of beasts who'd love to make you their dinner. Ah, these voices are getting out of control. No Merkin girl steps outside of town without her trusty 3-shooter. Seahorse-drawn carriage. Oh no, accents. Oh, I already had that one. Okay. Think of a different voice. Think of a different voice. Oh, it's a fish. Very cute. Okay, so I guess I have to go in this cave. Seems dangerous in there. Maybe I should find something in town I can use to protect myself. Ah, the 3-shooter. But nobody offered me one. Oh, okay. I guess I got it. I don't know. I kind of missed something there. But I have to try it now. Pew pew. Great. So if you're holding in any direction, you'll shoot in that direction. Which is also how you move, by the way. There's a bit of a momentum. You pick up speed as you move. So it takes a tiny bit to start going. But yeah, if you're not holding anything, you shoot directly down. Oh, dangerous rays. But yeah, very cute game, this one. They've used the CGA style well. Plenty of detail around with only a few colours. Oh, who's this guy? Talk to me. Oops, I killed it. Oh well. Is that a key? Is that a frog? Hello, frog. I guess I freed the frog. Oop. What's that? I have no idea. Okay. You gave me an egg or a coin or something. Tonya is now saying this game, which I think still talking about Mystery Dungeon DX, uses the standard Pokemon models and they just kind of look robotic and such. This isn't Game Freak, of course, but it's the reality of a low-budget remake for an obscure side series. It just looks a bit blah. I thought Gen 7 looked fantastic, and even if I don't like the game, the Let's Go game looked charming and right enough and proper scale. Yeah, well, not always. One of my gripes with Let's Go was you would find a wild Pokemon occasionally and it would say, it's tiny or it's huge. And the only difference was it had like a colored aura around it, but the actual size of the model itself was exactly the same. Even though scaling models to different sizes seems like it would be easy to do. I'm no dev, but they did it all the time in Donkey Kong 64, so that's my frame of reference. Anyway, yeah, that was really frustrating. Also, the shadows were horribly ugly, but anyway, minor issues. Anyway, mermaids. Yes, as you say. I guess that's it to this game. Maybe that's all they were able to create in the duration of the jam. The game is also down 2 dungeons and elaborate interface, but I did manage a AAA death screen just before the jam deadline, as they say. Well, I have eliminated all the enemies, so I don't think I can see that screen now. I can't leave this dungeon. I've gone to the top and the bottom and cannot seem to progress. Well, let me jaunt back over to the frog. Oh, I can get that ray to kill me. That'll be the end of this one. Quickly talk to the frog again. Nope. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. So maybe collision is not implemented either. Oh, there we go. Oh, golly good gee willikers. That's graphic. Great. Okay. So that's Merkin. Some nice Wild Westy type dialogue at the start, and then a little bit of a Zelda dungeon type thing. Woof. Oh, Tonya tells me that tiny huge mechanic was taken from Pokemon Go for some reason. Well, there you go. Okay. So before I get onto the last couple of games that I'm playing today, here's a couple that sort of fit this modern indie mermaid game thing, but I'm not playing them because I kind of already did, at least in this case. Sequest, 1992 by Ellie Woods. I highly recommend it. I played a little bit of it on the Transgender Day Visibility Itch.io stream that I did recently. So go back to the archive and check that out if you want. But there's a lot more to the game than what I showed, than what I had time to show. And playing it today wouldn't get me any further than that. So I just recommend you check it out in your own time. It's an excellent little game, but that's definitely about merfolk. And highly recommend it. Here's another one that I won't be playing because it uses 2 controllers, and even though I connected 2 controllers, it wasn't accepting movement input. I don't know, I couldn't figure it out, but it looks really nice. I really like the look of it, these sprites. We can see them in this. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful look, I think. And it gets bonus points for using as background music Mark Mothersbaugh's score from The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, an excellent Wes Anderson movie. The track that plays over gameplay is Ping Island / Lightning Strike Rescue Op, as it's named on the soundtrack, which I own. But yeah, other than that, it's a two-player competitive mermaid kind of side-scrolling racing game, and it's in French. It's called Escales by Eliway04. Should tell you that Ellie Woods is the creator of Sequest in 1992. And Aquaria is another modern mermaid game. It's not on itch.io, but it's definitely related to this topic. And I played a little bit of that on my very first Dolphin Games showcase, but that's well worth checking out as well. Now available on iPad. That's probably been delisted, I would guess. Yeah. So those are cool games too that are worth checking out in the mermaid theme. But let's play the next one. This is Mermaid for Mermaid. James Earl Cox III. As they allude to, they had like a sort of challenge for themselves where in 5 years they created 100 different games. And this is the 96th of them. And that's all the description you get for this one. So let's try it out. Mermaid, created in 2017. Go and eat, my little baby mermaid. Wait a minute. Is this actually a mermaid? She has hands, but she seems to be a fish. Oh, okay. So it's very easy to die in this game, and then your mother patches you up and then tells you to go and eat. So going that way, I think, is a bit of a dead end, but we can go this way. The sound effects are kind of absurd. And I don't know what's happening at the sides of the screen. Oh, it's a fish with hair that's poking in. Okay. But yeah, these are games that James L. Cox III made kind of quickly, and a lot of them are kind of jokey or silly, but there's also some interesting looking, more serious ones in there too. Of these 100 games, there's a big list of them that's linked on that itch.io store page. Oh, okay, so you can pop down to the abyss. Oh, okay, that didn't work properly. You can also go up, at which point a bunch of seagulls come and attack you. So I guess the intention was that you can pop up or down to try and get past some of these fish, but then you can't actually transition back to this screen from either of those screens. I don't know if that's a bug or not, but that's the way the game works currently, so that's what we got to deal with. We have to stay on this screen, but we have to find something that we're able to eat. Everything in this world seems to be out to eat us, much smaller than us, much bigger than us, sorry. So we're finding something smaller. There we go. Nice little fish to eat. And I assume these red jellyfish will kill me. Uh-oh, we're stuck. Dead. So I can actually eat these fish on this page as well. I wonder if I'm able to grow larger. Ugh. What's that game by Dingo, the laser dolphin people? I think it's called Tasty Blue. It's sort of a game where you're a fish or a dolphin or a shark, and you're Katamari style, eating a lot of stuff that's smaller than you, and then you grow bigger, and then you start eating the bigger stuff. You end up eating humans and boats and buildings and stuff. It's crazy. Really cool game. I probably showed that off on the mobile games dolphin stream. Yeah, I think I did. But I'm speculating here. I don't know if that's how this works, because I don't appear to have grown at all over the course of my chowing down here. But I'm getting some pleasing little dings, that's for sure. Don't know how long this goes for. Okay, here's an edge. Yay! I do like getting the encouragement on every new screen. Yes, given corroborating that I did indeed play Tasty Blue at one point. Oh. Okay. I didn't know that this is where this was going. Okay, it's all silly. They're just some people who are leaving some strawberry jam behind on the beach. But yeah, apparently we're a giant monster. I never knew. An amusing change of tone. So, can I move further? Oh! Wow. So that was Mermaid. Okay. Yeah, good stuff. Nice twist. That's a good humor game. Woo. Okay. Final game. I think I might actually have time for a bonus game at the end, but final game comes in two parts. Mon Amiral made a game called Super Mega Reverse Mermaid Adventure, and this is what I alluded to earlier, that there would be more reverse mermaids coming up. And this is in two parts with two different kind of gameplay styles. So let's play them through Wine again, and they should run in full screen hopefully. So uncheck windowed, good is fine. Let's play. So Mon Amiral has a lot of silly... Oh, okay. The first episode of an incredible fight between good and evil. Good impersonated by the almighty reverse mermaid hero saving their homeworld, and evil represented as nasty flying sausages, trikes, and metro tickets attacking a peaceful but funky planet. Lasers everywhere, a lot of tension, and epic music such as Harleboss from Homestuck. The hero must defend their planet by destroying invaders. Each hit taken reduces their hope, which is somehow some kind of score. At the end, only one side will remain, either the hero or the villains. A game by the almighty Call Me Mon Amiral. Press any key and enjoy. So we've got move, fly, and fire. Press any key. Oh, I did change that binding. I wonder if that's stuck. It did. Great. Okay, I don't like pressing space for input on games. That's just something particular to me. So yeah, these sausages are shooting at our planet, and they are destroying... well, you can see what's happening. I'm a reverse mermaid with human legs and a really large swordfish head body. Oh, I can actually fly. It's not jumping off the planet. I hold it at any time and I just fly off into space. That's amazing. Wonder how far I can go, but no, I need to defend my planet. These metro tickets are annihilating it. Okay, come on. Tonya says, this is different content than usual from Milo. Well. Yes. I guess that's the end of that. Great. We won. That's good to know. Oh, I wonder if there's a fail state. I better check. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get on an itch extravaganza, an itch showcase. Anything can happen, and probably will. So, yeah, reverse mermaids are kind of silly. Let's just fly off into space. Oh, what's happening now? Am I falling back down? No. What? Let's go back. Okay, I didn't get too far. Oh, brutal. My planet. My poor planet. Let me see. That's defeat. That's the defeat screen. Great. That's all I needed to know. Okay, so real quick. Super Mega Reverse Mermaid Adventure 2. The sequel, and this is a very different kind of game. Oh, there's actually a fair bit to this game, so maybe it'll last a bit longer. Okay, I didn't remap these controls, so we've got space to jump, and it's a side-scrolling platformer. Look at those legs. Look at them go. Beautiful. Now, what is this level made of? Cakes or something? We've got sponges. The hazard that we need to avoid is a spinning bottle. And yeah, so using our reverse mermaid skills, we can jump expertly with our legs, but also dive with our fishy body and head. Oh. Oh. That's not what I thought it was. So you don't actually jump, you sort of launch and then you can freely fly. And pressing space again stops that process and you fall. But a jump normally has an arc to it, so I was sort of using it as a double jump before, but I didn't realize you can actually, yeah, just fly completely free. Much like in the first game, I guess. Super Mega Reverse Mermaid Adventure 1. I could just fly off into space, couldn't I? So yeah, the goal here is to rescue the children, which have been imprisoned in these sardine cans. I hope they're okay. See, the normal jump just has this arc to it. Yeah. Gibbon saying, lol what? Yes, this is unusual, isn't it? Nice calculator. This is actually kind of peaceful. Just flying through this abstract, weird space. It kind of reminds me of And Yet It Moves, even though it's not really much like that at all. That sort of had kind of arbitrarily arranged side-scrolling environments. I think that's what's cluing me in on that. So yeah, the real goal is to try and save all the children, but I'm just going to get through it. Oh, nasty. Luckily, very little penalty for death. You know, I haven't tried bouncing on a sponge. Oh, you just stand on it. That's fine. Oh no! That traitor teddy bear. I should have known better than to trust it. Gotta sneak past. Yeah, I like that. Ooh! Thread the needle, my friend. Thread the needle. Come on, reverse mermaid. Ah. Oh good, I got a checkpoint. That's more than I gave this game credit for. Lovely, lovely. Let's go. Oh. Maybe the sponges are the checkpoints. Hard to say. There we go. It's all about the timing. It's all about the Pentiums. And the calculators. How's the sound, by the way? It sounds pretty loud in my ears. But hopefully I've tuned down OBS enough so it's not overpowering. Oh yeah, no, that's a good pull, Gibbon. Gibbon's comparing it to that bouncy thing, which is, oh, I want to say Fortune Fish, the company founded by the Stampers, or one of the Stampers. No, it was both, wasn't it? Anyway, the ex-Rare co-owners who made a little mobile development studio, and they were creating mobile games until they weren't. What are they doing now? It was some weird thing like educational something or others. I don't know. It was something strange that is of less interest to us now. But they had this game called That Bouncy Thing where you bounce animals off sort of strangely arranged objects in space. Not unlike this, so yeah, it's a good comparison. But yeah, the thing that our community was most interested in, that at one point they put out a sort of demo or alpha proof of concept thing for a game called Croco Bongo, which was very Donkey Kong Country style, a rhythm platformer starring an anthropomorphic crocodile person, much like the Kremlings of Donkey Kong Country series. And yeah, excellent little game that we all wanted to see go further and get expanded on and get a proper release, but it was only like soft launched on iOS with a few levels, but then it just got pulled eventually, and they never seem to have revisited it since, unfortunately. But yeah, Fortune Fish. Too bad. Croco Bongo, man. Yeah. I managed to snag it while I was there. It's on my device, but Gibbon and I have searched for an IPA file for it on, you know, on websites that are outside of the normal distribution system for smartphone apps, shall we say. But yeah, we never managed to find one, unfortunately. I've got it, but even me having it is, I can't like export that and then use it on other devices, because that's not how things work on iOS anymore, unfortunately. Oh boy. Oh no. Okay, cool. Oh, Gibbon says the thing that they've been working on recently is some VR fashion thing. That's right. It was a very strange thing that we weren't interested in. Fashion AR. So that's it. That would be all for Super Mega Reverse Mermaid Adventure. There's where the music's from. I hope I don't get copyright struck for that, but there you go. Oh, well, what time is it? Oh, I feel like playing Sequest. I feel like I should show more of that game. It fits well here. I didn't give it enough of a chance last time, so I'm plugging in a 3-button USB mouse, and I'm going to try and play more of Sequest 1992. I could play more of Aquaria 2, but that's actually a much longer game. Alright, I don't know how this will perform, so I'll turn the graphics down a bit. Input is normal. In-game you get to choose, so yeah, let's see how this works. This is Sequest 1992 by Ellie Woods. And as they say in the... I don't know if it's in this description of the game or like an associated sort of blog post on their Patreon, but this game is very much an allegorical tale inspired by their own experiences transitioning with their gender. And that kind of metaphor comes through in the game, but also it's a really excellent game with a nice vaporwave aesthetic. It's got cool controls, a really awesome soundtrack, and I haven't played it all the way through with mouse before, so that'll be a new experience for me. Oh, of course, it saved my progress. Alright, so if you haven't watched my Transgender Day Visibility itch showcase stream, go back to that and you can see the first segment of the game, where you interact with other people in your little merfolk village, and you have an encounter with fish-tailed merfolk who are green, and then express a desire to become like them. I'm now aware of the way I've just phrased that, and that's potentially problematic, but that's... anyway. The point is, our protagonist here has dreams where they are swimming freely, and their body does not match their physical reality in their dreams and in their wishes. So they've been told by another member of their village that if they travel to this mystical temple here, then they can possibly find some of the answers they seek. And that's the idea. We're now going to... We've entered the temple, and now we're using our little swimming controls to explore. I wonder if I can turn that dock thing off. Dock preferences. Sorry, this is bad. Can I just not get it to do that? But then it's going to be there all the time. Okay, but it disappears. That's great. Yeah, that's perfect. So this was a problem I had when I was playing it originally, with going near the bottom of the screen and the dock showing up. So I played through this game in its entirety, not on the stream, but just on my own, using the key controls. And those work fine. But now I'm trying it with the mouse, and it's a little bit smoother because you have the full rotation of movement. Aquaria works very much similarly to this as well in its control scheme. You have the option of button controls or mouse based. Oh, okay, we can survive 2 hits and then recover. Yeah, so the biggest issue with this game is trying to move beyond the bottom of the screen. It's very awkward, but otherwise it feels very nice to control, very smooth. Just the camera takes a while to catch up if you're going downwards. Whoops, that's a problem too. Alright, and it does use all 3 mouse buttons eventually through abilities you acquire as you progress, which is why you need... Oh, nuts. You need a 3-button mouse. Let me see. Oh, I kept my key. Great. That means I can just pop down here. Wait a minute. I thought I told that dock to not show up. Whatever. Tonya is mentioning an unreleased Fortune Fish game that is perhaps in the works. Interesting. Yeah, I would be... What? Okay, that might be a bug. I got crushed by that rock when I probably shouldn't have been. But yeah, this is the aesthetic inspiration for the game, as stated on the itch.io page, is from Vaporwave aesthetics, also inspired by Echo the Dolphin and Nintendo 64 games in terms of the low poly graphics. And it all comes together really well, I think. This really is a beautiful game. And combined with just like the subject matter, the music, the way it all links together is really, really cool. So it's unfair to label this as my favorite when it's sort of a pre-existing love of mine, but there you go. This is an awesome game. And you shouldn't worry too much about collecting yellow triangles, because you'll get plenty of them. You won't lose too many, and at a later point in the game, you end up getting way more than you'll ever need, I'm sure. But it's a fun thing to go for. Just don't let it cause you anxiety, is what I'm saying. Ugh. I hate it. I hate the dock. Okay. So, slip in here, I think. Oops. Whoa! That was not the answer. Yeah, Tonya, tell us about this unreleased Fortune Fish game. Ah. Yeah, I don't have the other button controls yet. I can only swim. But as you progress in the game, you do actually work towards your goal of physical transformation. And that comes along with it some different abilities, which use the left click and the middle click. Okay, I don't think I'm going down there. Oh no, that is the way to go, because going past the spiky thing just was a dead end, wasn't it? Okay. Yeah, the temple section is very maze-like, and you have to explore to find keys and then backtrack a fair bit. Ugh, stupid duck. Go away. I literally just turned it off. I don't know why it's now deciding to pop up. And yeah, it seems like the soundtrack was also done by the developer, so it's all like a really excellent sort of labor of love work that's all done by one person. Very impressive. I'm not really sure of their personal circumstances, but the kind of abstract nature of the allegory here makes it a bit more open for relatability, I think. Okay. Now, I'm probably not going to get through the whole thing, but I should at least get to the transformation, and at that point things start going pretty wild with the game, so hopefully I can show that off at least. But there's some really cool stuff that happens later. It took me a couple of hours in my own playthrough to get that far, and I'm not going to pretend that I remember all the directions that I need to go. Okay, so here's a lock. It's one of these shafts. They connect at the top, I think. Oopsie. So yeah, doing a bunch of itch games is something I kind of fall back on if I want to do a theme, but there's not enough retro games, or I've already played the retro games that apply. But in this case, there are actually some retro games. Before Mermaid is over, I think next week I'll play some retro Mermaid games, including other Little Mermaid games. At one point I did do a stream where I played the entirety of the Mega Drive Sega Ariel the Little Mermaid video game, which was sort of an Echo the Dolphin clone, and pretty cool. And then I really quickly afterwards did like a whirlwind tour of various other Little Mermaid games that have come out. But I think what I'm going to do is revisit some of those in next week's stream and give more time to them. My biggest regret from that stream is that I didn't give enough attention to the Master System sort of port of the Mega Drive game. I should have played that in its entirety directly afterwards to really compare them. So I'm kind of debating whether to do the Mega Drive game again and then the Master System game, or whether I should just go Master System, play that through, maybe not get a good direct comparison as much, but at least give it its due on the stream. But I'll definitely play through the NES and Game Boy versions, because they are quite short but also worthy of attention. You have to be a little careful. I don't want to speed off because I might go headlong into a spike and lose my progress, which is a bit frustrating. But you also don't want to rush this. That's not the kind of game it is, at least at this stage. It's a little bit more exploratory, contemplative. What? Tonya's linked to the website and made a joke about Commuter Kong, also known as Hat Kong, an unused character from Donkey Kong Land who appeared in some magazine preview artwork renders. Okay, we need another key. I'm going to follow this link and see what Tonya's talking about. And they've just linked the fortunefish.co.uk, the main website. What? I don't see any Hat Kongs here, my friend. Okay, key has to be over here somewhere, right? Maybe... Yeah, this is strange. Oh, what's that? What's the third one? The third picture. There's like a crocodile in a gangster suit with a pompadour and a bird wearing a biker jacket. What is this? I want to know more about this game. Sorry, playing a game and also browsing the website right now. Fashion AR is the only thing there, but there's sort of a preview for a game that, as far as I know, doesn't exist. But it might be the continuation of Croco Bongo, who knows? Anyway, that's interesting. The animal things. And, okay, there's our key. That means we can start backtracking. But Gibbons says that that art, the splash screen kind of thing, has been on their website for a few years now. To which Tonya has reacted negatively. But it's still interesting, she says, yeah. Maybe that was an early concept for Croco Bongo before they changed the character design to be a bit more tribal looking inspired. Yeah, it's a really interesting character design. I wonder if any of the assets are still out there. There must be news articles about it or something with the splash artwork, key art or something. But I recommend looking up Croco Bongo. It's a really cool design, and the gameplay is fun too. You can't really play it anymore, unfortunately. I hope somebody has done a playthrough of it on YouTube or something. Maybe I could. I guess I'll look, and if not, then there's always the possibility that I can do it myself. Since I've figured out a decent way of connecting my phone to the computer and capturing the footage now. I used to do it a really dumb way, but like I did a stream where I played games that had been developed by or about Indigenous Australian people with those kind of themes, and that was a really interesting experience and different and fun. But the way I was capturing footage from my iPad, which is how I was playing the games, was using a third-party AirPlay kind of hack thing, which was prone to crashing, and especially in the game that I most wanted to showcase, Second Chances, the soccer-based game. And as a result, I have regret about how the technical aspects of that stream didn't work out so well. So, crystal, magical crystal. We found it. And here is the psychedelic transformation sequence. Oh, light sensitivity warning, I guess? Sorry. I didn't realize that would be quite so intense, actually. Yeah, that might be a problem for some people. I should put a warning in the YouTube description. Yikes. So yeah. We haven't seen the sort of how this is the culmination of this character's journey, or not culmination yet, but we're on the way. On this stream, I started partway through the game, so there you go. But yeah, this is sort of part way there. Okay, so spacebar. As I return to the waters of the temple. Oh wait, this is the thing that appeared when I first got to the temple. So this is back. No, what? As I return. Oh, it's stopped now. Yeah, anyway, so we have a new ability now, and that is the dash. So if I am swimming with left click and then hit right click, I have a faster kind of boost. So let's see if this says something different. Ominous echoes. Yeah, so that's what you're supposed to see when you first arrive here. But yeah, thanks to our new ability, we can actually progress. Oh, what's this? Space or Hanasu. That's my house. But the halfway kind of person that I am now has been barred from returning to the village, and I'm very nonplussed about that. This is one of the allegorical elements. But as I was saying, now that we have this ability, we can clear this obstacle. Oops. Yeah. Okay, go. It's a little bit tricky, but we can do this. Ah, come on. Yes. And Aquaria has these kinds of jumping puzzles as well. Okay. The waters grow colder as I swim further from my home. I feel the uncertainty growing, but I know that I must go on. Arctic coast. So yeah. This is the bit where our jumping comes into play. A little bit awkward to do. And it's harder to do these quick turns with the mouse, if I'm honest. But yeah, this is sort of not dissimilar to Echo the Dolphin's progression, where you... Oops. I cannot survive out of the water. Yeah, like the challenge part that you first come to is in an Arctic zone. You start finding ice and okay, cool, cleared it. And of course we have a new music track as well, but the yellow triangles will guide us to some extent. Golly. Okay. Let's go. Yes. Ow. But yeah, you'll notice that my feet are now longer and wider, more flipper-like. That's part of the transformation, but we're not all the way there yet. So we need to traverse more hardships to find possibly another green crystal, which might facilitate further transformation. And that's the next phase of the game. Oops. Oh man. Oh, no. Okay. So you only lose a few triangles. If you get hit 3 times in a row, you will die and respawn. But one hit is really not an issue. We have plenty of triangles. You only lose a few from dying. You can grab a few back anyway. But actually I don't really know what happens if you lose them all, because I always had so many. I don't think it's like a Sonic Ring thing, where then you'll find your game over if you lose them all. It shouldn't be. Gibbon says, what an apropos allegory. Yeah, I do associate... Oh. I assume that it's a similar kind of metaphor. You know the charity Mermaids UK, which H Bomber Guy was collecting donations for during his Donkey Kong 64 stream? It's kind of similar to that, isn't it? Concept. Oop. Although I don't know where it first came from. Okay, as I swim through the ice-cold waters of the surface, I feel eyes watching from far across the ice. I feel danger, maybe panic. I hope that my resolve will not weaken. Okay. Here we go. Fearsome Sharky. This is the first boss of the game, and you got to get a run up and dash into the shark after it's impaled itself in the ground, and that's how you damage it. So you avoid that first, but there's sort of a cooldown on your dash. There you go. That was a damage hit. That's good. But yeah, we got this intense music track again happening, and once again, I really like how the sort of polygons of the environment pulse in time with the music. It's all part of that aesthetic, isn't it? So jumping out of the water is a way to get the shark off your back, but it eventually goes for this more powerful attack and then hits the ground, and then you got to dash into it, but you also need a bit of a run up, so I wasn't able to hit it there. But it kind of chases you relentlessly from the background until you do a leap, which kind of gets it off your tail for a bit if you manage to do it right. But it's quite tricky. But yeah, the penalty's not too bad. You just lose some triangles, and I have plenty of those, so it's really not worth worrying about. Don't think there's too much danger of outright losing progress on this boss fight from memory. Okay. Nuts. Oh well. Yeah, Gibbon says he's seen the mermaid metaphor before as well, and assumes that's where the charity got its name. It's all about timing. Okay, go. No. Oh, I got stuck. I've only got one hit so far. Yeah. Like I said, timing. You got to wait till the shark starts pursuing you and then do a good leap out of the water. Otherwise, it's just going to catch you and bite you. But I love the look of the shark. It's very scary. With the few polygons, it just makes it look sharper and more dangerous. Ah, no. Ah. Out of time. Okay. But yeah, it's a cool game to be played almost entirely with a mouse. But you might find that it's more comfortable to use the keyboard. My first playthrough used the keyboard controls, but then used other software that I've used many times before to map those onto a controller key layout. So I was using a controller to play the game, not unlike Echo the Dolphin. Okay, can I get this? Oh, come on. The hit detection is really dodgy on that shark. Oh well, we'll get it. I don't know how many hits it takes, but... Duh. Maybe I will lose all my triangles. Okay. No! The dash, it was recharging. I don't understand. Please don't let this put you off. This game is great. So yeah, the next thing I'm going to watch, Gibbon, is the original anime Toei 70s version of The Little Mermaid, based on the Hans Christian Andersen story, and the ending is not so happy as the Disney version, from what I've heard. Oh, what was that? What? Okay, I've lost about half my triangles since I entered this boss fight, and I've got one hit. Ah, too close. I feel like you need to run up to really get that dash off. Ow. Yeah, it loses interest if you jump after it started chasing you. And that's the idea. And it seems to make a different noise as it's gonna... Oh, what? No. Why did I do that? Why did I... Okay. Gibbon says he owns that, the Toei, the anime Little Mermaid. How do you own it? What format was it released on and when? I just found it on YouTube. He says it's great. Yeah, I'm interested to see the differences in how they handle the story. Oops. Ah! Curses. Okay. Oh, why? Oh, this is... Yeah. This is the roadblock. Actually, this is the first roadblock. There's a second roadblock later. Okay. Why? I don't understand. There's got to be something to this. Yeah, the second roadblock is the chase section, which also involves a shark. Possibly the same shark. But you get to a point where you're rushing down a raging river. And the shark is pursuing you, and if you make any mistake, it catches you and you get mauled. And you have to restart the section all over again. And you're jumping over waterfalls and stuff. It's really exciting. Why? That's super interesting. Okay, come back around. Dash. No, too late. Dash? Did that work? It didn't, because I got hurt. When I first did this, I really brute forced my way through it, and I feel like I haven't learnt anything from that. But also, as Ichio reminded me with a banner on the site when I paid for the game. It's an optional payment, by the way. You can pay what you like for the game. But yeah, it said 100 days ago you bought this, and I was like, oh, it's been 100 days already. Where does the time go? All right. Okay, so I'm using the dash to avoid that run-up of the shark, which means that it hasn't recharged by the time I want to attack the shark. So I feel like I need to try and not dash when I'm avoiding the shark. Not when it's doing the big attack, anyway. I'm sorry, this must be frustrating to watch. I'm quite inept. I feel very inept. And I feel like I'm doing the game a disservice. Okay. Why? Okay, the film was released on VHS and DVD, but yes, it's also on YouTube, says Gibbon. Lol. 3 triangles left. That's odd. So if you run out of triangles, you die, and you get sent back to the start. Oh no, back to the start of the boss fight. Okay. So how much triangles do I have? I have none. Great. Sonic the Hedgehog boss fight. Gives you 5 at the start, but since I just got hit off screen... Oh, that's really annoying. Okay. I'm not going to do this. I can't do it. I'll tell you what happens in the rest of the game. When you beat the shark, you get another crystal, I think. That might happen now, or it might happen later. Anyway, you go through the river section that I mentioned. You get chased by the shark. You're jumping down these waterfalls and stuff. You eventually find another crystal. I don't know if there's another intermediate stage, but you get your tail, and with it, you also get a sonar ability, which is middle click. And then you go into the depths of the ocean deep, where it's all dark, and you use the sonar to light up your way. But there's a big, nasty fish creature who's chasing you, and then that's the other boss fight. And then there's a very nice ending screen where you're sitting on an island with a lovely, nice tail and a pure green color. Gosh, I hope someone else has put this game like a playthrough on YouTube, because... Or just try it out yourself. Maybe you can beat this shark better than I can. I feel really bad about how badly I've done with this shark today, but oh well. I think that's it. That's all I'm gonna do for today. So that has been Ichio Mermaid games, or at least a selection of them that were playable on Mac. Because there were many more that looked interesting, but I couldn't get running. So I encourage you to explore that tag yourself if you feel like it. Give some things a try out, and yeah, donate to Mermaid UK. And yeah, keep creating that hashtag mermaid content. Yeah, okay, that's it. Thanks very much for watching. Let's leave you on a peaceful screen, not a deadly shark screen. Like, yes, this is what the game's about. Chill, relaxing, freely swimming through the glowing neon ocean, and just a journey of self-discovery. But anyway, thanks for joining me today. Hope you have a good mermaid hashtag, and see you again anon, friends. Bye.